This conference will now be recorded.
Thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and get started, friends. Again, welcome to Big Data Hadoop training from my end. This is Shiva. I'm going to be your Hadoop trainer. So just to brief about myself, I have total 15 years of IT experience. Out of that, I was there for 5 years in United States, a client location. And from last almost 4+ years, I'm working back from India. I'm still working for one of the MNC. I'm taking care of completely offshore deliverables as a project manager. And coming to my technology stack, initially I worked as a Java developer. Quite some time I worked as a mainframe developer. From last 4+ years, I'm dealing with this big data. Basically, I worked as a Hadoop developer. Then sometime I worked as a Hadoop administrator. Then from last almost 2 years, I'm taking care of Hadoop architect role in my organization actually. So kind of I touched all these things. So that's how we are going to discuss all real-time things in our discussion also. And every session will be recorded here. And if you really need anything to revisit, or if you miss any clause and if you want to go back and look that, definitely this will be available for the lifetime. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, and coming to software and anything, so you don't have to worry anything. You don't need any prerequisites for that. I'll be making sure that everything will be available on your computer from my end. Actually, you need to just join the sessions, that's all, and follow my instructions. And you'll be going from this level to the next level, where you can portray yourself at least 2+ years of experience in Hadoop. Okay, all real-time things, and we are going to have completely use cases and case studies and real-time examples and practices for each and every topic that we are going to have. So plenty of use cases that you are going to see, all you have to practice. So apart from this 1 hour class every day, you have to give at least 2 hours to practice, so that you will be benefited actually. Okay, and definitely you will be there in the market where you wanted after 2 months. Okay, and yes. So any questions before I take you to the real discussion, friends? So this session is like, you can go and unmute and talk to me. So that luxury that you have. I do deal with the different trainings with the different institutes and all, but you will be muted there actually. All you have to type your question. But here you have luxury where you can speak with the trainer directly by going on unmute. So just provided when you are going on unmute, try to make sure there is no background noise, so that we will have a nice time actually. Okay, friends, shall we go ahead and get started? Can I have the confirmation from everyone?
Yeah, Shiva, we can go ahead.
Thank you. Excellent. So let's proceed further. Okay, so I'm going to take you, I don't want to bore you too much in a demo. I mean, probably you might have gone through some blogs, some books, some probably videos and all about the big data, but I will try to keep my content a little bit unique, so that you will get you'll get something out of this discussion. And moreover, I don't want to take too much of time, and I don't want to go in depth today. So slowly we'll be going into the Hadoop terminology or Hadoop world slowly. So today I will try to set the base. Basically, what is this big data, and what is this Hadoop, and relation between these two, and why really these things came into the picture, why Hadoop came into the picture all of a sudden from last 10-15 years. So what is the reason? All these things we are going to discuss in depth actually. Okay, so let's go ahead and see one by one. So first and foremost thing, let's go ahead and discuss what is really, right, big data. Right, a simple question, if someone is asking what is big data, so probably you might be thinking about the big data is something, is a framework or technology or something. That is not really a big data definition. You are not going to learn any new programming language out of the big data. You are still in that understanding. That understanding is not correct actually. So big data, what is that meaning of big data? Let's go ahead and elaborate more on that one actually. So we'll be discussing um, most of the time over the notepad and paint, so everything you should able to see, you don't have to worry. And these notes also, this running notes, you don't have to take any notes as we are discussing friends. Okay, simply you just concentrate on my screen, and rest of the things will be shared with you actually. So which means you don't have to go ahead and you don't have to take the notes busy while class is going on actually. Okay friends, so that's what my humble request actually. All you have to concentrate on my screen, and I will be shared with you complete things, everything whatever I am showing on my screen, including notepad, including data and software and everything I'll be sharing with you.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so let's go ahead and see what is big data. So before I introduce about the big data, let me clearly give some idea about the data or data set friends. So what is really data set? So Balaji, just now we started, you did not miss anything friend. So what is data set basically, right? So data set is nothing but some information if you are going to keep together, that we are going to call it as a data set. If you are keeping some information together, right, that is a data set actually. So these data sets can be measured how friends? Probably bytes, kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes, something we used to see actually. So maximum terabytes of data that we used to see. Probably I'm taking from now 10-15 years back, like from inception, how much we used to see the data, maximum terabytes of data. So these data, from where we are going to see friends? Who are the sources for this data? Simply a word called data sources actually. So data sources are the one who is going to generate the data actually. But by the way, what is data sources actually? So you are the data source. I am the data source. Your phone is a data source. Your computer is a data source. Probably when you are going to do any shopping, that is going to be the data source actually, right? So everything whoever is going to generate the data, that is called data source actually, right? Telecom data, right? And YouTube data, social data, right? Retail data, transport data, etc. You can name it anything, whichever is generating some data behind the screens, that is called data sources. Nowadays refrigerators are generating the data, washing machines are generating the data, fit bands are generating the data, your smartphones are generating a lot of data every day. Almost every device started generating a lot of data actually, right? Those are called data sources. Forget about the big data definition as of now, we're yet to reach there actually. So data set and data sources of your data set, we are clear actually. So we used to see these data sources, maximum we used to see terabytes of data they used to generate actually. So now terabytes of data they used to generate, and what are the technical things actually, right? We would say traditional techniques that we used to hand that we used to have to handle this data actually. What are they? So probably mainframes, right? Java, right? On .NET, probably any BI tools, etc. So these are the traditional techniques or tools using which we used to manage the data from these data sources actually. So actually speaking, these traditional techniques are excellent systems to handle terabytes of data, because when they design, the guys who design these frameworks or databases or anything, right, or DBMS also, right, anything that you take, when they design these systems, they thought maximum terabytes of data, right, they are going to see actually. That is how they designed maximum terabytes of data here actually. But right, when they go here, basically, are you seeing only the terabytes of data? Right, nowadays we started seeing, right, petabytes of data. So 1 petabyte equal to 1024 terabytes of data. Then exabytes of data, which means 1024 petabytes of data is equal to 1 exabytes. Then zettabytes, then yottabytes, etc. We started seeing this much of data from our data sources actually. So data sources are same, but this much of data you started seeing from these data sources, because you see every day we start processing a lot of data, right? Tremendously, the amount of data that we are generating every day got increased exponentially actually, year on year. So you can compare with your personal computers, the storage how we used to have 5 years back, 10 years back, and compare now. You can see the processing power, the storage capacity got increased like anything. Your cell phones, probably your office computers, like every day we start generating lot of data. We are started accessing lot of data indirectly. That is the reason a lot of data is being generated out of the data sources actually. Yes, we have the data, this much of data is being generated. Then how we used to handle, before handling, right, these traditional techniques are straining. When you give terabytes of data, these systems are excellent, but when they started seeing this much of data, they started straining actually. It's too much for them. They feel, yes, you are designed, right, me to handle terabytes of data, but you are giving petabytes of data, exabytes of data, where I may not able to handle that much actually. That is really where they started saying actually, right? So this much of data is being generated from these data sources. Whenever your traditional techniques are feeling too much about the data, then that data is a big data for them actually. So big data is nothing but what, friends? It is a data set. Very, very clear statement. This is what I give the definition to all my participants in the first class actually. So what is big data? It is a simply collection of some data actually. It is a data set only. But this data set, these systems are not able to manage actually. That is the reason we started calling that one as a data set. So basically, it's not a language, right? It's not a programming language basically, right? It's not a, right, technology. It's not a basically database also, right? So simply, what is this? It's a data set, but the data set is giving some trouble towards your existing systems. That is the reason we started calling this one as a big data. Big data is nothing but it's a data set, but it is giving some issues towards your traditional techniques. That is the reason we started calling this one as a big data actually. So any questions on big data definition? So existing systems are not able to handle, because a simple example, as much as you can, you're going to say that is a normal work for you. The moment you feel the work that has been assigned to you, it's too much where you cannot complete within given period of time, then you can start calling that one as a big work for you. Here also the same thing. The moment you are not, legacy systems are trying to manage the data, then that is a normal systems. That is a normal data set. But the moment your legacy systems are not able to manage the data that's been generated out of your data sources, then they can start calling the data set is a big data. I'm calling as a big data because I'm not able to handle the data on time, right? So that is the reason we started calling as a big data, right? Any questions, friends? Are you with me so far? So now you should be in a position to give, yes, big data is not a programming language, friends. You are not going to learn any different programming language out of big data, friends. All you are going to understand more about your data. That is called all about the big data actually. I will take you in depth about the big data definition, little bit statistics about the data. As we proceed further in the further discussion, yes, we are going to do that. Clear? Shall I take you to the next level, friends? Can I have the confirmation? Are you with me so far?
Yeah, sure.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, yes, So big data definition, there are many definitions are there, friends. Like you may be like wondering like some V's, right? Four V's, five V's, volume, velocity, variety, all these things. I'm going to take you in depth in our introduction classes from tomorrow onwards. So I don't want to bore you, but they gave some definitions towards the big data, because you see, when do you call your data as a big data and normal data? That is the big question that you have. So you are seeing some data from your data sources. Can I call that one as a normal data or big data? Because of it seeing the petabytes of data, terabytes of data does not mean that it's a big data actually, right? So whenever your systems are not able to handle that data is a big data. Size does not matter. I'll take you in depth about that again further, and I will give some definition towards the big data using some statistics from the IBM, which is 5Vs or 4Vs. So definitely it's part of your interview questions. Definitely I'm going to take you there actually. So today, yes, so existing systems are not able to manage your data, right? So these systems are straining. So even though you're upgrading them to the next level, still they are strained actually. They are not able to handle your data. Even though you're increasing the RAM and hard drive capacity in the server, still they are not able to handle, because this year, for example, you have so and so system and you're able to manage it actually, right? You're able to upgrade your system and manage the data. But next year, you're going to see more data. When you see more data, again your system is not able to manage it actually, because again you have to upgrade the system to the next level. So something like this, every year or 2 years you have to upgrade your system to the next level. But whatever you have seen the issue last year or 2 years back, the same issue that you are going to see today. That is what really, right, big data, right? Whenever you are going to even upgrade your system to the next level, big data is trying to give thus trouble towards your legacy systems actually. Yes, we know very well traditional techniques are giving some issues, some they are not able to handle my data. Then we have to introduce the new techniques actually. So one of the techniques to handle your big data is Hadoop or Spark or Flink. I'm just listing them, friends. We are not going to discuss everything, right? So Hadoop, Spark, Flink, probably HBase, right? MongoDB and Cassandra, DynamoDB, right? etc. So it can name them anything, but these are the, it can be a database, it can be a framework, or it can be a programming language. You don't have to worry about that. We'll go through one by one as we proceed further, right? As and when required actually. So today I'm going to take care very clearly about the Hadoop guy actually, because we are going to discuss initially about the Hadoop. So what is Hadoop basically, right? The differences between Hadoop and Spark and other things also we are going to discuss down the line. First you have to understand about the Hadoop actually. So back in 2006, right? Hadoop was born back in 2006, right? So he's going to address, right? It's going to, Hadoop is going to address the big data related issues in terms of storage wise, in terms of processing wise actually, right? So what are the two issues that you have on the big data side? One is storage way, other one is the processing way actually. Only these two things actually, right? So to address these two things only, Hadoop was born actually. Hadoop was born back in 2006 to address the big data related issues in terms of storage, in terms of processing. So the way you are going to store, the way you are going to process using Hadoop, if you are going to learn, that's all we have from the Hadoop side actually, right friends? So Hadoop was born back in 2006 to address your big data related issues in terms of storage, in terms of processing side. So we are going to discuss very clearly, right, in terms of how we are going to store the data, how we are going to process the data actually. Okay, so we have to learn why your Hadoop is able to handle this data, why not your existing systems actually, right friends? Are you with me? Hadoop was basically born to address your big data related issues in terms of storage, in terms of processing. He's going to address both the issues from the big data world actually, right? Some are going to address only the storage, some of them are going to process only the processing wise, but we are going to see Both the things are going to be addressed using Hadoop actually. Okay, but what is the specialty of the Hadoop? Why only Hadoop is able to handle your data? Why not your legacy systems? If you take Java and all, it's a great programming language where billions of devices are using it. But why not Java? Why only Hadoop to handle your big data? Right? That is also we have to understand very clearly. I'm going to give you the simple example, a lemon example in our day-to-day life, how it's going to happen. Then I'm going to capture that example to elaborate our Hadoop concepts actually, friends. Right? Let's go ahead and see that. So very simple. So let's go ahead and see the first one. Right? So Hadoop is a framework, friends. Basically, it's a framework, very simple open source framework. It's a open source framework, which means it's free to use. You don't have to pay any license cost for this one. You can customize as per your requirement. Indirectly you get everything, the framework code and everything. And basically it's a framework. So whenever I say framework, right, almost 60 to 70% your work will be done. Only 30 to 40% you as the programmer you have to customize actually. So that is called a framework. Hadoop is an framework, which means he is going to, right, you are not going to, you as a developer, you don't develop any application from scratch. All the framework is going to take it 60 to 70%. 30 to 40% you as a developer, you are going to take care of that. You have to customize. That's called all about the framework. There are many frameworks are there in the market. So probably if you know a little bit about Selenium or Tableau or any other tools, like they're all of the frameworks, all it's already been designed most of the part. Okay, friends. So that is called framework. It's an open source. It's free to use. You don't have to pay any license cost. It's wonderful actually, right? And also it is going to work based on the master slave architecture. The crux of Hadoop is going to be based on the master slave architecture actually. So what I mean by master slave architecture, what we get out of this, excuse me, master slave architecture actually. Excuse me. So what is the master slave architecture? What we are going to get out of this one? That's what we have to understand, right? So before I take you into the master slave architecture, so any questions from the beginning, please go ahead and keep that questions. Okay, friends, let me take you to the what is really master slave architecture. What is the difference between the master slave and this guy actually? Okay, so master slave architecture is nothing but a simple thing. So in a project, how the project manager and team members are going to work together within the team, that is called master slave architecture actually. Project manager and team members actually, right? You see basically, so how the project manager and team members are going to work. So I'm just going to reiterate this one. So everyone almost knows this one, but I would like to just reiterate so that you should able to really catch it up how um, the system is going to work. Then definitely we are going to take you to the next level actually. So now, right, so you see these are team friends, right? So you're going to, I mean, you are the project manager and you're going to have the team members under you, right? Team member one, team member two, team member three, team member four, team member five, right? This is how we are going to see it actually. Okay, so now you see these many team members are there under you. Hey Surya, we started almost 20 minutes back, but don't worry. I'm going to cover after this class for you, okay? So if you really need, again, I will share the recorded video also.
All right, that's fine.
Thank you. Yes. So how Hadoop is going to work, I will try to compare with the real time, the Lehman example. Which means when I say Lehman, I mean you don't have to have any prerequisites. That is the Lehman. That's most of the time I'm going to use that word actually. Okay. So now these are team friends, basically how the team is going to work, we know. So before I take you to the team, right? Why team came into the picture? For example, your client is here, right? and you are working here basically, right? For your client, you are working, right? So you're the client and you are here. So probably you are alone, right? So stand alone basically. So now, so when you are assigned some work by your client. When I say client, is a user friends who is going to assign the work to you. That is a client actually. So now this guy is assigning the work and you are able to complete on time. That's well and good. But he started giving more work, which means you are working only 8 hours or 9 hours per day, but he's giving 13 hours of work, but still you are able to manage. But for example, right, he gave, right, for example, some work and he wanted to complete within an hour, but it will take at least 10 hours of time actually. But he wanted to see within an hour, but you are not going to do that one. So that is where your team will come into the picture. So simply you're going to say that, bus, I am alone, I cannot do it within a 1 hour of time. But what I can do, I can have a team and I can make sure the work is being distributed to the team, and I will make sure that work will be done within an hour actually. Right? Instead of, right, going with alone, I am working on that. I will try to make sure, right? Definitely by having the 10 members in the team, I will try to make sure I will distribute the work to the 10 members. That is what the team is going to do. So what the team is going to do? Generally, client is the one who is going to assign the work to the project manager, and project manager is the one who is going to maintain the team members. Just for our understanding, simple understanding purpose, I had a 5 team members, but you can have how many that you want, you know that. So project manager is going to make sure all team members are the one who is going to reporting back to the project manager, and team member knows who is working on what. If one day one guy is not working, he knows that how to delegate the work as a backup, and how he has to make sure that leftover work to be done by the other guys, and everything the project manager is going to do actually. That is how simple our team is going to work. So definitely, instead of you alone working, you are making sure the team is working for you. Then definitely you are going to complete the work within an hour actually. You're expecting an hour, you can complete 30 minutes. You can have the more team members in a team, and you can make sure that work is being done in a quicker way. How it is going to be done, we are going to see down the line. So you see basically what has happened, friends. Instead of you alone working, you basically introduce the team actually, right? So simply, and also the way you're going to upgrade yourself, right? You are increasing 8 hours to 9 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours here per day working. You are increasing on your own. You are just upgrading indirectly on your own. You are not trying to delegate the work to the others actually in the standalone way actually. But here is a, here the left side here you see how many team members that you want. Simply you can just go ahead and add to the team actually. The more work that you are getting, so you go ahead and add the team members to the team actually. That is as simple as how we are doing here actually, right? So exactly the same way in the real time, also in the reality with the big data, it's happened actually. Just think like right side one, it's a legacy servers, legacy systems. When I say server, system, node, all are going to represent the same thing, friends. It's a computer basically. Legacy systems actually, traditional techniques actually. So legacy systems, right? If you take RDBMS for example, right, or any mainframe system for example, right? Your client, right, your source, for example, your Amazon, right, or National Stock Exchange, whatever it is, he started assigning the work to you. You see, basically, this is how it is happening. Now, for example, right, you started assigning the work to this guy. Your client, right, is start. Your client is assigning the work to your legacy systems and is able to manage. But do you see your source is generating the same amount of data that you see for 2 years back, 10 years back? No, lot of data that we have seen, petabytes of data started generating. But do you see your standalone system is going to handle the petabytes of data? Is going to be strained actually, right? The single guy, single machine, single server is going to be strained actually. So that's why the left side system has been introduced actually. So left side system is basically Hadoop system. When I say master slave architecture, means project manager and team members, how they are going to work together. The same thing, it's a multiple computers, friends. It's not a single computer. Each circle that you have to think here is a computer actually. So we are going to keep multiple computers together within the network. So how you are going to keep it, how you are going to build them, all these things we are going to discuss very clearly in depth in the down the line. So now you see, this is what a Hadoop system, where all our computers are connected together using a high reliable cable within the network actually. So how your team members and project manager are connected within the team together, the same thing these guys, right? All your computers, including your master computer and everything, have connected together within, right, within the network using high reliable cables actually. So these outer line, right? So this one only in the computer language, in the networking concept, we are going to call it as a cluster. Whenever you keep group of people together, we call it the team. Whenever you keep group of computers together within the network where they can interact each other, where they can talk each other, that is a cluster actually. Clear? Any questions here? Cluster is nothing but group of machines together actually, right? So now you see, instead of using only the single server to handle your data in terms of storage and processing side, we are going to use multiple guys here actually, right? So this guy is going to act as a master computer. Project manager is equivalent to the master computer actually, right? So the same configuration and everything, these are the physical machines friends. It's not something one machine is working as a, here total 7 plus 1 8 machines we are seeing in this cluster. It's not something one machine is going to work as a 8 machines. No, how the physical people are there within the team, where they are going to be the individual guys, where they are going to work together towards the common task, the same thing these guys started working. So now these guys are going to be called as a slave computers actually. Slave computer 1, slave computer 2, something like that. We are going to see these are slaves actually. So these are the one who are going to really work for you. How the team members are going to work for you in a real time. So these are right, in a Hadoop cluster. We are going to see the slaves are going to work for you in terms of real storage data, real processing data actually. Clear friends? So this is very high level how Hadoop got this much power actually. Because of Hadoop is working based on the master slave architecture, that is the reason Hadoop got this much power. So very simple, if you want to scale a system, right, in the legacy side, what you do, you scale, you upgrade this one to the next level by increasing the more RAM, more hard drive every year actually. But here, do you have to do the same thing in the left side system? Simply, you're going to add more systems to this way actually. So something like this, they built, right? Facebook, Yahoo has built 45,000 plus machines, almost 50,000 machines they reached as of today actually, right? 50,000 computers they kept together to build their cluster to handle their data actually. Still, they did not reach the limit actually. So how Shiva, how we are going to handle that much of systems together within the network? Yes, we are going to see the beautiful mechanisms down the line. We are going to see it, and we are going to discuss a lot. Okay. Any questions? Yes. So this is how Hadoop is going to work. So completely, I'm going to take care of complete Hadoop and its ecosystems also. So I don't want to bore you too much and cover everything. So how this Hadoop system is going to handle the storage and processing. So basically, instead of storing your whole data together, we are going to distribute the work to the multiple slaves actually. That's how they are going to work. Definitely in our tomorrow's discussion, I'm going to take you there actually one by one, how the storage things are going to happen, how the processing things are going to happen using your Hadoop. We are going to see down the line. So for complete course details, for the course content, I hope you received from the respective organizer from your end actually. If you need any course content details, and please do let me know. I can ask your organizer to forward or to share with you actually. So from tomorrow onwards, mostly we are going to start a introduction or in first class from tomorrow onwards. Please try to use the same link for a couple of days and try to join on time so that you don't miss anything there actually. So but for sure today by end of the day, try to be in touch with your organizer so that they can confirm to me so that I can start sharing the softwares and other stuff with you all. Okay, so we are going to discuss complete things like name it like pig hive, and HBase, Scoop, Flume, Uzi, and also we're going to discuss Spark. The complete course content is there with your organizer. So please be in touch with them, and they are going to send it to you actually. Go ahead. Yes. So the complete course duration is going to be the 40 to 45 hours, and we are going to meet Monday to Friday, every day 1 hour. So like I said, I'm going to give the complete software, and along with that use cases, case studies I'm going to provide for you, and I'm going to practice it for each and every topic. Then I'm going to give as a hands-on purpose for you, so that it's all a real-time one. Right? By the time you complete, you're going to get the maximum things out of that. Clear? Anything that you want to see, friends, out of today's discussion? Are you with me so far? Did I bore you anywhere? I would like to see the feedback from everyone, so that we can see how we are doing.
No, Shiva, actually, it was good. The introduction that you gave really it helps.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Yes.
Hi
Yeah, it
Shiva,
was good, I think.
Thank you, Surya. Yeah.
hey,
So,
Shiva,
Surya, I'm going to share with
I have a
you
couple of
the
questions.
recorded video. So definitely, and please be in
Mm-hmm.
touch with your organizer. Or I mean, when I say organizer, how you got this link, friends? That's all meaning of organizer. So no one is going to
Yeah.
organize you other than me after 2 3 classes. Once you settle, I'm the one who is going
Mm-hmm.
to interact with you. Definitely, I'm going to share all recorded videos, all closed into the Google Drive, and I will be giving the lifetime access for you actually.
That's good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Hey Shiva, this is Arvind. Can you hear me?
Yes, Arvind, go ahead.
Shiva, I have a couple of questions actually.
Yeah.
So I got the course content from the organizer, and I have seen that in detail. So there are so many technologies involved in that, Pig, Hive, Spark, and all those. So
Yes.
are you going to go into the details of each technology individually, and will make us do some kind of hands-on on that, or
Yes.
that will be superficial kind of thing?
No, everything is going to be from scratch, and everything is going to have the hands-on for you, and you have to practice. And so by the time you complete this course, all those things you are going to learn it, but you don't have to be proficient in each and everything until unless you want to become a mentor or something, architect completely 5 6 years of experience level. But
Mhm.
you have to pick one of them out of that. But you have to know, you have to understand the basic level everything. If someone is discussing about pig in your meetings, in
Mhm.
your office meetings, you should be in a position to answer them, because you have to understand completely what's going on with that. But out of them, you have to pick either one or two based on
Mhm.
your interest. Then you should be very proficient in that, and you can portray it as a, yes, I'm a Hive developer, I'm the Scoop developer, I'm the Pig developer, then a Hive developer, something like that. You can portray yourself, so that that's how the market also is going to be. So in a team, it's not something only one guy is going to do all those things. Actually, he
Mhm.
cannot do that one. A team is going to be the, like, kind of all flavors are going to be there, like Pig, Hive developer, Scoop developer, Spark developer. Everyone will be there in the team actually, where they are going to continue their activities from there actually.
Okay. So what is your specialization, by the way, in that sense, which you talked about recently?
So I basically I involved everywhere. That's how I became the mentor. I started teaching, I started involving in the real time also, almost every ecosystem that I listed there. That's how I designed my course content.
Okay. And how would your course how would it be helpful in kind of switching our career into big data domain? So if
Definitely.
let's say I'm from a different technologies stream, right, and I want to get into this big data thing. So
Exactly.
will your course be helpful in understanding what to be picked up, and I can like start building my profile in any of the big data technology?
Definitely. So we are going to discuss from scratch how we are doing today. Every
Mhm.
class is going to be like this only from scratch. So every question will be the valid question. If you are not from the techie, if you are not from technical background, and I'm not going to skip anything, everything you are going to get out of every class, every minute discussion. And by the time we complete any component that we listed there, you
Mhm.
are going to judge yourself, yes, this is something useful for me because I know I'm more interested because my background is this one, then I can pick this one and I can just go ahead and just portray myself as this developer. So by the time we complete, by the time we discuss those components, you are going to get, or you are able to judge yourself, yes, these are the systems which is going to be handled for so and so problem statements. Yes, these are the things that I need to implement, and based on your technology, based on your previous skill set, you can pick yourself and you can proceed as your wish actually. Okay,
Okay.
definitely I'm going to take you from all the way zero level, no knowledge, to the next level, advanced level in the Hadoop. I'm going to take you. So after we complete, definitely you can portray yourself as at least 2 years of experience. The way we are practicing the case studies, the way we are discussing our classes, the way we are giving the real-time examples in our discussions, all these things includes at least 2 years of experience that you can keep. In other countries other than in India, you can keep more than that, because as you know, we will keep more experience there than in India actually.
All right. Yeah. Got you.
Yeah,
Thanks for my questions. Yeah.
yeah. So any other questions, friends, from anyone? Okay.
Hey, Shiva,
So great.
Balaji, sir. Can you hear
Yes,
me?
Balaji. Yes, Balaji. Go ahead, sir.
I joined somewhere around like 7:40 today from
Uh,
EST. So when did the class start? Is it 7:30 or before that?
6 a.m. IST. So almost probably try to convert in your timings as almost 47 minutes back from now.
Close to. Okay. I just want to know
Okay.
if I
So
missed something or not.
yeah. So definitely, I will share the recorded videos with everyone. So
Mhm.
please be in touch with your organizer when I say that how you got the link. Just ask them the recorded video, or just share the email ID if your organizer okay. Then he's going to share with me actually. So once you get the confirmation, once you register yourself with the organizer, definitely he's going to share the details with me. I'll start interacting. I'll start sharing everything with you. So try to just complete that process as soon as possible so that we will start our real things actually.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you. Thank you, friends. If you don't have any questions, that's all I have. Thank you so much for your time. We'll meet again tomorrow, right? Please try to be available, and please be in touch with your organizer. By end of today, please be in touch with the organizer so that I can interact with you. So, okay. So whoever is interacting with Sai sir, please be interacting with Sai, and others whoever got the link, please try to interact with them, and definitely they are going to forward to me, and I will follow up with them actually. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day, good night ahead, and stay safe, stay healthy, friends. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Shiva. Have a good one.